What do Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., Babe Ruth, and Zack Snyder have in common?
I would say baseball, but they all like bat boys.
They like balls.
What did he say?
Very close. Very close. No, they all swing for the fences. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking the 10-year anniversary of Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
That's right.
Let's get into this. Okay, I'm joined by my buddy Jose right here, owner of Baby Girl Comics.
Hola, mi gente.
And we got Spider Kev over here.
What's going on?
And I am your host for this lovely episode, Mike Barry. Gentlemen,
Bat-Mike.
take a step back to 2016.
So long ago.
That's the year I graduated high school.
Shut your
Oh
ass.
my God.
Here we go again.
Sorry.
Go to
Sorry.
shit.
Sorry. It was a good year.
It was an interesting year.
It was actually the year I married my wife.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it was
Happy
a very
10-year
good
anniversary.
Yeah, 10-year anniversary. But getting back to Batman
Yes.
and Superman.
Now, let's take that time travel back to there. We're talking 8 years into the MCU.
Yeah.
We're talking season 2 of Daredevil, 3 years out from Man of Steel, and I think like 4 years out from The Dark Knight Rises, maybe something like that.
Something like that.
So-
So we just got Deadpool, I think, a year or two after,
Yeah, not
2014,
yeah. I think that's
2015.
about right.
maybe.
And I can tell you right now, when they announced that movie, I'm a huge Superman, Batman fan. Together, I literally have the logo in the front of my Charger. When that movie was announced, me and my sister got on the phone right away because my sister loves Superman, Batman, especially Henry Cavill. I wonder why. But yeah, that I've as a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, I've been waiting for this movie since the 90s. So I was extremely thrilled.
That's something I want to talk about because I feel that announcement was actually at 2013 Comic-Con San Diego.
Yeah.
And they had the guy who played General Swanwick announce it. And the way he announced it was he played a very famous line from The Dark Knight Returns, and it is, "I want you to remember, in all the years to come, the one man who beat you."
Yep.
And every true comic book fan knew exactly what they were talking about. And they ended up pulling back the screen, and they showed the Batman Superman logo.
I get chills watching that video
Yeah.
still.
Yes, that was one of the all-time greatest announcements. All they did was show a logo and drop a line from a comic.
And that's all they had to do because it was the only time Superman was defeated by a human. Like, he said it clearly. He like, I remember this. I had the only man to beat you.
Yes.
And then he faced his own death.
Yes.
In the comic book, at least.
Yes. and again, that's one of the all-time greatest Mount Rushmore moments of comic books in general.
Yeah.
That's my
Absolutely.
opinion.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
that was we're going to cut to the build-up maybe a little bit, and there was a bit of controversy stemming from the Man of Steel
Okay.
because
yeah.
a lot of people felt a bit divided on that. And
So it was definitely very divided. Superman,
Yeah.
Man of Steel. You either hated or loved it. I personally, I loved it. I'm trying not to curse. I love that movie. The drama started when Ben Affleck was cast as
oh
Batman.
yeah, definitely.
All the drama started when Ben Affleck was cast, and I'll be the first one to admit, my wife would admit it, I was pissed.
I was too. That was the first
I
YouTube
was-
video I ever made was my reaction to Ben Affleck as
Dude.
Batman.
I'm like, Daredevil? Daredevil's gonna be Batman?
Yeah,
like,
that
he
was-
sucked
he
as
was-
Yeah.
Daredevil. And
Oh boy.
but yo, I'll eat my words. He to me is one of the best Batmans of all time. Especially playing an older, more mature. He was a great Bruce Wayne. He was a great Batman. He's the first one that hit both, besides Christopher Reeves as Superman, hitting both the superhero and the actual human being. Fantastic work. I thought, but the movie still got a ton of hate.
It did.
Yeah.
I will
well
say,
deserved. deserved too.
I will say that Ben Affleck might not be the best Batman, and that's
No.
not a dig, but I think he's the most comic accurate Batman.
Yes. Okay, I can agree with that one. I definitely. Agree
It is
with
it
that
is
one.
still a shame we did not get our solo movie,
No.
but the casting of Ben Affleck was kind of a train wreck on a lot of things.
Well, did he actually want to be Batman at one point?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He happened to be very good friends of Kevin Smith, and at that time I was listening to the Fat Man on Batman podcast, and Kevin Smith was dropping all these hints about his buddy being Batman, and seeing the first stills of him in the costume
Yeah.
and how it was ripped right from the pages of The Dark Knight Returns.
He was brooding. He was
Yep.
huge. He was larger than life, and he just didn't give a shit. He
He
was
was-
just a miserable old bastard.
Exactly. It was he has a line in the movie, and it's 20 years in Gotham, Alfred. How many people are still good? How many people stayed that way?
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of shows you his mindset going into this. Batman is kind of on a downward spiral of paranoia, anger, and he starts branding people. We'll get a little more into that before I
But the
really
build-up,
go.
the build-up.
The build up,
Because
was-
DC needed it.
they did.
Because Marvel was at that time was kicking ass
Mm-hmm.
at the box office.
They
Because we,
still are compared to DC.
I believe at that time it was Captain America: Civil War that came out.
It's Civil
Yes.
War and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and Civil War
Civil
did amazing
War.
with Spider-Man finally joining the MCU.
Yes.
So DC felt like they had to do something to get people in the theaters.
And they were trying to start the Justice League.
Absolutely.
They tried to start the Justice League. They brought in Wonder Woman. That's the only one. They didn't bring in Aquaman at that point.
Yeah,
No, they did.
Aquaman was in the movie.
No, he was in Dawn of Justice.
No, he was-
only made a cameo.
I know, but they made a poster and it said "Unite the Seven."
Yeah.
And that was one of the Dawn of Justice posters with Jason Momoa. In fact, they came out with an action figure from Mattel for Dawn of Justice of Jason
Really?
Momoa. They did.
I did not know that.
And he was in it for about 13 seconds.
yeah.
What was the Flash like? That little Flash point
Yeah,
scene wasn't.
Well,
We'll-
he was
we'll
when he
get-
jumped into the screen.
Yes.
Yeah,
when
we'll-
Batman fell asleep, Ben Affleck, Lois is the key.
Yes.
Yeah. Was that
We
Batman
could-
vs Superman or was that Justice League?
That was Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
that was setting up Justice League, the Dawn
Yeah.
of Justice.
In BVS, there was Wonder Woman, Batman, Cyborg, Aquaman, The Flash, Superman. There's your. Who am I
And
missing?
Martian Manhunter.
No,
He
Unite the
was at
Seven.
the end in the post credit.
No, that was Justice League. It was
Okay.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman,
Flash.
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 That was it.
What are you missing?
That's it.
Hawkman? He wasn't in the movie.
That was it.
Was it 6? I could have sworn it was Unite the Seven.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
He thinking about Vault, the boys, the Vault
Maybe.
7.
Maybe. But
Which is better
they also
iteration.
had dropped for the hype was a promotional still of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman as she was standing on this like lava thing, and I feel like that kind of really set the tone of what was going to be, and the hype to this movie was undeniable, especially for me. I made the mistake of writing this movie in my head before it came out, and to this day I try really hard not to do that because of this movie.
Yeah, I think this movie, it got a lot of mixed reaction. I think like there was so many things good with this movie, but there was so many things completely wrong with this
Yeah.
movie. Like the Batman scene where he's in the warehouse. I think we're talking about the same movie
Yep.
still. And he whoops everyone ass, and he's trying to
Stuntman.
save Martha. Don't say that name.
Richard
we
Satone
find everybody
is the
figured out.
guy who played Batman in that point. He's a stuntman, but he's done many interviews of. It's called the Martha Rescue. That scene,
Yeah.
and it is ripped straight out of the Arkham games.
And it was fantastic.
Batman taking on, I don't know, 10, 15 people all at once. Not the let's fight and wait. No, it is everyone at him at once. And Batman's ripping people to shreds. He's smashing people's heads against the wall. Did they all survive? Probably not. But there's a moment where one guy, he stabs Batman in the arm. And Batman kind of still fights. And like he throws that guy to the side. And then he ends up picking that guy up. Takes the knife out of his arm. Slams it in that guy's arm. And like gives him a stare. and then he reaches down, and I swear he rips something off or like hits him somewhere very personal. They don't quite explain it, but I'm pretty sure Batman did a pretty severe personal.
Batman kicked him in the nards.
Exactly.
I'm starting to think Mike might be the autistic one and not you, because he remembers every goddamn detail from every goddamn movie.
I watched this movie for the first time in a good 5 years over the past couple of days.
Okay.
I also watched the extended director's cut version because I haven't watched, which adds like 30 more minutes of connective tissue in the movie. They kind of connect all the investigative parts of Clark Kent, and they kind of dive more into the Senate hearings and a lot of the stuff that goes on.
I just like with the movie, like the whole Doomsday thing. Doomsday looked like
A turtle.
a crackhead Ninja Turtle, an oversized Ninja Turtle. That was stupid. Like you were trying to do too much. You were trying to do, you know, the death of Superman, and bring in the Seven. Like there was just too many storylines.
It was rushing. They were rushing to it.
The movie starts with a song called "A Beautiful Lie," which is one of my all-time favorite comic book movie soundtrack songs. They show Bruce Wayne rising up and the death of his parents. It's a song called "Beautiful Lie," and this movie is a beautiful mess. It is loosely stitched together scenes from about 5 different movies.
Yeah, from 5 different comic books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like we got Superman in a Senate hearing. We got Wonder Woman coming out of nowhere. Yeah. We got The Dark Knight Returns. We got the death of Superman. Yeah. We got Lex Luthor thrown into it.
One of the worst
other people Jolly Ranchers.
One of the worst comic book movie castings ever.
I was so excited for it.
Horrible.
I was.
Hi, I'm Lex Luthor.
I was hardcore and
little brain.
Dear
the
internet,
Red Capes are coming.
I apologize. I apologize, internet. I was a hardcore defender of this movie.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
This movie definitely had great scenes and like some iconic scenes besides the Batman fight. When Batman's driving around the corner and Superman just swats the Batmobile and it spins out of control when he's doing the chasing scene.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. Like, that was such a great scene. Wonder Woman was cast perfectly. Gal Gadot did an amazing job. But yeah, it fell short. I'm a big fan. I see it pretty often because I play it at the shop all the time, just as background music. But it's one of the movies that, like, no matter how many holes it has or how many shitty scenes it has, you still sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
You know, what do they call that? Rubbernecking or whatever? Yeah. And you sit there and watch it and you're still enjoyed and you're still entertained. It's a movie that for 10 years, for me, it's held up. That whole SnyderVerse, you know, got a lot of shit because of that movie, because of Wonder Woman 2, which was absolutely horrible. He got heat for Superman. And I thought Superman was fantastic. Like, I agree. Like, people, like, when he snapped Zod's neck, you know, and that whole thing, it just fell short. And people are still dying for the SnyderVerse because it's going to be a darker, edgier version of the Justice League.
Yeah, I think when Disney came out was like, here is our 8 years of MCU movies that, for better or worse, are kind of a little cookie cutter. And they all look the same. They have a very same color palette. Stories are pretty similar. And Zack Snyder came in and was like, hold my beer. Yeah. We're going to do something completely different. We're going to go edgy, dark, pretty close to the comic. We're going to go epic beyond almost anything that has ever been done. There are scenes in this movie that are pure, almost like Renaissance paintings. There's a moment after we're jumping around, but there's a moment after Superman dies, and it's one of my favorite moments in the entire, probably DCEU. Batman wraps Superman in his cape. Yeah. He's lowering him off the rock. Wonder Woman picks him up, takes him down, gives him to Lois, and they pull the camera back. And there's Batman mourning. There's Superman in Lois Lane's arms. And then Wonder Woman just kind of like does this thing, and she looks up at the sky, and you can just feel the weight of everything that is going on. And it is such a beautiful shot. But that
He was
out of
seen as-
context of everything else going on in the movie.
Just to bring him back in the next one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they tried to retcon that whole situation when they came out with the extended cut, where when he yells, it sends waves, shock waves, basically waking up whatever.
Dark Side.
Yeah, Dark Side, and it just felt short. Now, where my brain goes to this is, where do you want to see James Gunn succeed where Dawn of Justice failed? Because I think we're going to get a world's finest with this.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think you have to give us world's finest.
That's when they spent. Superman and Batman are the best of friends. They have nothing but respect. If Bruce Wayne ever had a brother outside of Dick Grayson, if Bruce Wayne ever had an older brother,
Yes.
I will put it that way, it would be Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman. Those two are the best of friends.
Just the scene of them when Clark was going to tell him, "Oh, Lois is pregnant." Batman already know.
Yep. In Injustice, that is right. And they completely dropped the ball on that. When the mistake of writing this movie in my head, I thought after the events of Metropolis getting destroyed, I thought Batman was going to come in and try and teach Superman some morality. And that didn't quite happen.
No.
At all.
There's no compassion left in Batman's
No.
heart. And Superman, he's such a goody two shoes, and he's such a Boy Scout, and that's the way he's written, and I hate it. Like, I love I love Superman. I hate how he's written.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Like, I need, like, can we get a Homelander style Superman for once? Can we get a Superman that just...
Isn't that kind of what Justice is?
No, but I need to see it on the big screen, and I need to see, like, I got a glimpse of that, and I'm sorry that Superman 3, when Clark goes into the restaurant and he separates from Superman, as corny as that sounded from the original movie.
Dude, it was the early 80s?
Early 80s, 1980 when that movie first came out, I believe.
Oh, the shit!
I need that. Like, for me personally, I want to see an evil. I like villains.
Yeah.
I want to see an evil injustice. I want to see injustice on the big screen, and I want them not to hold back and make it a hard R.
I think that's exactly what they were going for. And one of the weirdest parts of this weird, strange hodgepodge of a movie is the nightmare sequence. Bruce Wayne is decrypting a little thing he got from Lex Luthor's computer, and he falls asleep at the screen, and he has this one of probably too many dream sequences in this strange movie, where it cuts to Gotham City in the future as a desert, and we get Doom.
Superman and Darkseid took over everything.
Exactly, and they say
The
it,
Mad
and
Max.
It is exactly. It's Mad Max Batman. Batman is walking around in a trench coat and a latex mask in the desert, and all I can think of is, "You smell so bad, homie."
He has bat air conditioning in that bat suit.
He's dedicated to the
absolutely.
point, the part at that point. But where Batman is trying to get this kryptonite, and it ends up turning into an ambush.
Yes.
And he starts fighting the people, and there's Batman's using a flipping AK-47 because at that point, I guess he's not worried about his one rule, which kind of always sounded a little weird with me.
But how can you if Superman... All right, now we're going to debate. Because how can you if Superman he's a god? He's a fucking god. And how can you stop him? Your team is set up of the Joker, the Flash, Aquaman's Boo, Murrah, please, Angela Turd or whatever her name is. Like, it was just like that dream sequence is what I wanted the movie to be.
Yes.
Like, everything that dream sequence was setting up, that nightmare sequence with Darkseid coming, Superman being bad. I was like, please, if you can give us this Zack Snyder, like, you'd be the best forever. Like, swear to God. Like, that's all I want.
They should do it animated, which would probably be the best bet.
We've had so
I
many
don't want
animated
animated,
stuff.
dude.
We're
like,
deep.
I want blood. I want guts.
I understand.
I want the boys type action in the Justice League in an alternate universe on the big screen. And I want people to walk out there and be like, what the fuck just happened?
DC is so known now for having better animated stuff than live action.
Yes.
We're tired of that shit.
I know. And Jose, I love you like a brother, dude. This is, again, where we're going to agree to disagree, because the reason why I don't watch The Boys specifically is because of Dawn of Justice. Because I don't want that. I've seen it too much. And I go to these things for hope and inspiration, and Superman is hope and inspiration to me. Batman is willpower and the power to overcome what is going on. And they're going to be the more opposite of what that is in these movies.
I want destruction.
I know. And
I want blood.
I want blood.
It's not wrong, because those depictions are out there.
Yes. But I need it on the big, I'm tired. I'm tired of the fucking stories and the bullshit. And like, I'm sorry, I read the comic books. So it's like, I want something different than the comic books on the screen. Like, I don't want to see Dawn of Justice. I don't want to see something that's been written in comic books. I want something new. I want a new comic book, a new storyline, a new adaptation of old characters, where Absolute Universe just did that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute Universe in comic books is the best thing going right now in comic book history.
Dude, the stuff with the Scarecrow and like Project Batman,
the Joker,
and creating
they
him.
just introduced Robin, Absolute Superman, completely different take. Wonder Woman is from hell in Absolute Universe. Now, Marvel just announced that Marvel's doing Midnight. I think it's called Marvel Midnight, which is basically the Absolute Universe for Marvel, where they're changing Spider-Man is not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's a man spider, basically. Storm is a vampire. Midnight X-Men, Midnight Spider-Man, and Midnight, there's another one. I'm looking so forward to these comic books.
See, I feel like Marvel did that like 15, 20 years ago with the Ultimate Universe.
But the Ultimate Universe is still going on.
Yeah. We got Miles Morales.
We got the new Ultimate Universe with Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Universe, the separate comic books. But it's like, it's the same character. Like, it's the same character. We just tweaked them a little bit. Like, they completely changed Batman. They completely changed Superman. He doesn't even have a cape. He can just make that shit appear and use it as a weapon. Batman has barbed wire cape.
Yes.
He is massive. He's like 6'7", 480 pounds. Like,
and he's poor.
Which is more realistic.
To get back to BVS, I think when this movie is truly cooking is the time where we get, I think, one of the greatest intros in cinematic superhero history is made. And sadly, they spoiled it in the previews.
Yep.
Is when Batman is sitting in the Batplane, Doomsday is sitting there getting ready. Batman's like, oh shit. And like, for some reason, he just goes,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And frickin' Wonder Woman comes in and blocks Doomsday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she comes in and there's
She's with you? I thought she was with you.
They hit that electric cello. Again, one of the greatest like theme songs
it was fantastic.
It's done by Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer.
Why did they show it in the trailer?
I don't know.
Because they needed people. There wasn't enough excitement going for the movie. And they probably wanted to bring in the woman clientele, the women customers that they're like, okay, we got Batman and Superman. We've got 1,000,000 times. When's the last time we saw a Wonder Woman movie?
Wonder Woman had not been inside on a silver screen in a movie ever, which is a crime.
Yeah.
But she comes in and Superman comes down and he's like, is she with you? And he's like, I thought she was with you. And then Superman says, this thing is...
I got dibs.
Superman says, he's like, this thing isn't from our world. And she says like, I've killed monsters from other worlds before.
Yeah.
Just off the cuff. And Wonder Woman's been fighting for years. And she pulls out that sword, and man, she goes to battle with Doomsday, unlike anything that had ever been seen before.
That probably was the best fight between them because
for the 7 minutes that this fight is going on, the movie is cooking at 100%. Superman's coming in with the blocks, Wonder Woman's coming in with the swords, and Batman's like, "There's a rock. I'm gonna go hide under here.
I'm gonna go find that kryptonite weapon." And then
the kryptonite weapon. Dude, talk about the most pointless. You can't find anything for Lois Lane to do.
She drowned.
She straight
It
takes the
was so
spear and is like,
heartbreaking.
I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna throw it in the water. We cut to 7 minutes later. She's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna need that," and she dives in the water. You have nothing for Lois Lane to do. So she dives back in the water, and she almost dies.
Yes. It was so fun.
It is cooking 100%, and we can see when Doomsday gets hit, he starts doing the Doomsday thing of evolving and growing spikes, which, again, he should have maybe had a little more spikes and been a little more
Just
scary
start with
looking.
His face was.
It looked
just
like the
Ninja Turtles,
raw.
the
He shoulda had
Bayformer
spikes
Turtles. Yep.
everywhere.
the
He
Michael
shoulda,
Bay
like,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
like a
Yep.
huge ass Darth Maul.
Yep. And then there's one point where Doomsday, he socks Wonder Woman, and she goes sliding across the ground, and like she loses the sword and shield, and dude, she looks up with this like smile, like, man, I have not felt battle like this in years, and like sometimes women just give that look, and it's like, whoa, just hold
You're
on,
in
lady,
for it, buddy.
and dude, at that point, if she had it, she would have taken out a scrunchie and pulled her hair up.
She broke out the Vaseline and
Right?
shit.
Dude, and then she goes to war with this guy.
She definitely did, and she held her own in this movie. For the limited time she was in this movie, she held her own, and she made her presence felt. The whole scene where Clark meets Bruce.
That was a cool thing where we have Jesse Eisenberg's crappy Lex Luthor, and he's like, "Clark, meet Bruce. It's time for you to meet." And
The best version of that was when they did it in the Jimmy Kimmel show.
oh yeah, no, I remember that. I remember that.
so
Hold
bad.
on. Cover your eyes. You're Batman. Take off your sunglasses. You're Superman.
But we get the cynical Bruce Wayne in that, where Clark Kent's like, "There's the Batman, and he's bad, and he's torturing people, and he's branding people so they die in jail." And
What a voice.
Bruce looks at him and says, "Don't I own your newspaper? Like, you guys do a puff piece editorial on a god who does little more than pick kittens out of a tree.
Yep.
Maybe it's the Gotham in me that says, or maybe it's the Gothamite in me where I'm a little skeptical about clowns in costumes."
Yep.
And
And
it's
that
like,
was
there's
so
so much layers to that.
The
of
Joker
like,
came out really quick as soon as he said that. But he's right.
Yeah.
Like, Batman is right in this movie. There is an alien. So we get an alien today. We're going to be like, "Hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Nice laser beam." No, we're going to figure out, the government's going to come in. They're going to figure out what his powers are and how we can destroy him, because he is a threat to national crisis.
Yes, absolutely. There is, they say it in here, no move is non-political. And we get this really strange meshing of, is it the right thing to do or not the right thing to do? How good does Superman have to be accepted? He goes, starts saving people. We have that amazing scene where he's saving the people from the burning building in Mexico, and he lands, and everyone's
the
in
Day of
the
the
Day
Dead.
of the Dead
Yep.
makeup, and they all just like kind of reach out to him, and you can tell how uncomfortable Superman is. He isn't doing this to be worshipped. He's doing it because it's the right thing to do. And then we have another scene of Superman pulling the upside or the sideways tanker through the ice.
Wait,
and
didn't
doing-
we get that in the Fantastic Four with Ben Grimm? When he was pulling the tanker? Same scene. I'm just saying it was
nine,
slower.
9 years later.
9 years later.
And Superman, he's out there doing everything, and everybody on the TV, we have all the talking heads, which is another pull from The Dark Knight Returns of, does the world need a Superman? And the lady says, like, but he's here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What can you do? what can you like? I like to think of this a lot in my head as like in real life what would happen.
Absolutely.
And there's a comic book out there that if you guys haven't read, and you probably haven't even heard of it, there's a guy named Hyperion.
Yep.
And he has a crew called the Supreme Squadron. If you want to see a Superman that doesn't give a shit and is going to do whatever he wants to do, this guy was found. The storyline is exactly like Superman, except for the government picks him up and uses him as a weapon. And then when he's 16, he decides, you can't tell me what to do. And he lobotomizes the sergeant. And that's Hyperion, Supreme Squadron. And like that takes me to that. And like going back to, because I lost my train of thought, going back to what I want to see in comic books, that's what we need from Marvel, a Supreme Squadron movie.
I feel like they like tickled that a little bit with getting what was the one in Thunderbolts Century? They kind of tickled that a little bit.
Yeah, but it's But back to Superman.
Back to Superman. So
Squirrel.
there is this, and it bugged me a lot because I didn't really think about it and like put it in context until last night when I watched it. Diane Lane's Martha Kent is kidnapped by Lex Luthor and his goons.
Yes.
And he has these pictures of her being tortured. And they write like witch on her head and they have her gagged and she's being tortured. And he uses that as leverage to get Superman to go fight Batman so they can kind of kill each other.
Yes.
And the fact that they put Martha Kent through that kind of really bugged me this time. I thought it was, I understand why they did it, but I feel like it kind of crossed a line that I didn't want Superman's parents to cross. I feel like the Kents in this universe overall are just about the worst Kents there have ever been. What was I supposed to do? Let him drown? Maybe. No, you don't let the kid drown. You pull him out of the bus and you say, whoops.
R.I.P. Keanu.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and then there's the story of Superman. He kind of goes on his march through the mountains and he has a vision of his dad. And his dad tells this story of one time on the ranch, it was raining and we worked all night long to get the water to turn course. We did the sandbags and we were exhausted and we fought through it. And he says, we came inside and my mom and grandmom, they made me a cake and we celebrated. But what we didn't realize was all we did was we redirected that water downstream to another farm and all the horses drowned.
Yep.
While we were eating our hero cake, celebrating our victory, the horses were drowning and I still hear them screams. And that sums up kind of the dilemma Superman's in. No matter what he does, the ripple effects get worse and worse the farther out it goes.
You can't satisfy everyone.
Exactly.
No one's going to be... Batman sees him as a threat. He's just trying to be a hero and save the world and bring lightness to this dark world that we live in. And justifiably, he sees him as a threat. The government sees him as a threat because, like everything in the real world, people don't like what they don't understand.
Well, look at Batman. When he started out in this, he even says it. He started out, he had a pure heart, he was doing the right thing. 20 years into this, how many people are still like that? Batman's looking at Superman like, okay, he's kind of doing this now, but 10, 15, 20 years down the line, what is he going to do?
What happens when he decides he doesn't want to be Superman and help people and doesn't give a shit anymore? Because at some point, everything takes its toll on you, and at some point, you just get tired of just being the good guy and saving everybody and doing all this for everyone. And it's never appreciated.
No. And
it's like...
It's tough for Superman.
At some point, everyone gives up. When you just have constant doing good, and you keep getting shitted on. Superman feels the same way. Although he might not be human, he thinks and feels like we do.
The worst scene in this movie, outside of the meme Martha scene,
Oh, that's
Superman is making this decision to fly to Gotham to try to convince Batman to align with him.
Yes.
Superman flies down in the middle of traffic, sees Lois Lane, and he's like, I want you to know, like, I'm going to do this. And Lois is like, Clark, don't. And he looks up with this terrible, like, crying face, and he says, not everyone stays good in this world. And like I was like, that was like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
That could have been written better.
Superman would never say that.
No.
He would never say that.
No, not at all. He's going over there with the intention to change Batman's mind, and he would
save
not.
Martha.
He would not save
Why'd
her.
you say that name?
There is two things in movie history that strike me as maybe should have had a second pass at him. Much of The Phantom Menace and the Martha scene, someone should have said, there's a better version of that.
Mr. Jar Jar Binks?
And nobody told Zach no. Like, if you had, like, kind of...
Remember, it wasn't Zack Snyder who finished directing this movie. He started it.
No, that's Justice League.
Okay,
That's Justice League.
Okay.
When this was written, there's a better version of how this can be written.
Yeah.
As a lifelong Batman Superman fan, I didn't realize that their mothers' names were the same. And that's not the point of it. The point of it is...
Neither did I.
The point of it is at that moment that Bruce is ready to pull the trigger and stab this creature, this alien, in the chest. And he psychs himself up, and it is at that moment that he realizes that he is human, that that he is a living being and has family outside of the actions that he's taking. There should have been some kind of echoing through Bruce's head, something of like, this moment is when good men turn cruel. This moment, there could have been a better execution.
Yeah, there could have been a
that.
better transition, better word, better phrase, better shot. Because it was just, from that point on, the movie just didn't work.
Yeah.
It just that whole Martha, like, I
It
sat in the
definitely came to,
movie
like, a
and I was
screeching
like,
halt.
oh wait, I didn't realize that, but okay, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know, like, your mother's name is Martha.
And it's funny, like, at that moment, like the meme is like, oh my god, we became best friends. But they do, because it is at that moment that Batman's like,
You're human.
I promise you, Martha will not die tonight. You go take care of Doomsday. I'm gonna go rescue your mom. I promise you, she will not die tonight.
But Batman also saw the humanity in Superman.
That's
right there.
exactly it.
The fact that he goes, you have a mother, and she's human, and her name is Martha. Like, he realized that Superman is not a threat. That he's more American or more human than
even Bruce's.
Bruce's, and he's more compassionate, and he cares, and he just wants to do good. But being good all the time gets exhausting. You know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. But I will still continue to watch every Superman movie ever freaking made.
Yeah.
Even the Brandon Roth one.
Yeah, no.
I still enjoy my Superman movies.
So do I.
Enjoy my Batman movies. And it's weird because, like, I have all these superheroes that I like, but I can also complain about every single one. Like, I love Batman, but I call him bitch Wayne. I love Superman, but I think he's a pussy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like Spider-Man, but there's things about Spider-Man I can't stand, you know? Unless you're talking about the Hawk and Wolverine, you know, then there's nothing wrong. Except for that stupid Professor Hawk.
Yeah, ain't talking about that right now.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. But, yeah. I to this day I still enjoy this movie and I will continue to watch it. So we'll be doing a 20-year review.
I feel like what this movie has really done, and it definitely made an impact. There is a before Batman vs Superman and an after Batman vs Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely, they doubled down on the things that people did not like in Man of Steel. Instead of getting that movie in between of just Superman being Superman, instead of just flashes of it. If we had our movie of him versus Metallo, the Parasite, another Superman-focused movie, I think we would have had a completely different DCEU.
I just think with this movie and with the Marvel Universe when it started, it gave us something in superhero movies that we never really got before, and that was seeing more than one superhero in a movie, and more than one hero, and a bigger story than just we're following Superman through this tale. Now we're following Superman and Batman. Now we're following Iron Man, but now we're following Iron Man and Thor. Now we're following Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, and they keep building on these teams. Look how well Marvel has done it, although the last two phases were shit. And I can't wait for September when the Avengers, which is a cheap cash grab, re-releases with the extra scenes that show why Doomsday happened and why Doom is gonna be here. But I'm also curious to see what they're gonna do with everything that happened in between. Like, are we just void all that stuff? You know, so I like where they're going with these stories. I like how comic book movies are getting better. And they're growing, and they're becoming big franchises, thanks largely in part, to Marvel.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm curious with James Gunn's DCU and with what Superman SnyderVerse set. They set the blueprint for
For what not to do.
for what
I'm
not
sorry.
to do, but also
Everything
for
we
the
shouldn't do is
Justice
right
League.
there.
And
Yeah.
that's where I think
And that's where James Gunn will succeed.
I think that's where that Superman movie truly succeeds is
Yes.
they understand the man in Super is more important than the man is more important than Super and Superman.
Yeah.
And his humanity. And this Superman, especially in this movie, kind of lacks it. And he doesn't show he carries the weight in such a morose, depressing way that I don't believe Clark Kent, raised by Martha and Jonathan Kent, should do.
My biggest complaint with this Superman, don't get me wrong, I love the movie. I thought it was great. It's fantastic. And I like Brandon Roth, and I like his vulnerability.
Corn sweat.
Corn sweat. But I wish he was built like Henry Cavill. Superheroes are supposed to be larger than life. Like, I shouldn't be able to walk next to Brandon Roth and be like, I can take this guy. You know?
It is
like,
definitely
like,
the WWF of the superhero genre.
Yeah.
Is Zack Snyder's.
and that's what we need. We need larger than life characters. Like, Ben Affleck as Batman was larger than life. Like, Glitter Boy. I love the movie. The Batman. Robert Pattinson.
I didn't know where the fuck you were going with that one.
He weighs about 180 pounds. Like, I'm like, he's not jacked. He doesn't look like a superhero to me. And I grew up with He-Man and Thundercats, where all these characters were like just Diesel, and that's what I wanted to look like when I was older. It didn't work out for me.
It is definitely
But you know,
the Frank Miller drawings brought to life of Batman and Superman, where they're these colossal beasts.
Yes.
And Brawler Batman was brought to it. I don't think we'll ever get a better Batman suit or a more comic accurate Batman ever. And that's a shame.
we better get Batman the Animated Series.
That's
suit
it.
on live action with.
Dude, nothing's better than the black and the blue cape.
And there's only one guy that can fill the stature that I need, and that's Alan Richardson.
Yeah, no, I totally could.
I don't think he can pull off Batman. I really don't. I think he can pull off Batman. I don't think he can pull off Bruce Wayne. He can't. He's a decent actor. He's not great. He's great at Reacher, but goddamn, if he doesn't have the look, if he doesn't have that like larger than life look, that's where
him.
I want to see and we never will because they're too far in every action. Like Thor is the closest one you get to that.
Yeah,
Thor's
a hard one to pull off.
jacked.
One thing it just popped into my head. So Batman's going through like the files of all of the metahumans, and we get like this flash video where he's taking down some guy while he's drinking milk, and Batman brings up Diana's past and the picture of her standing with Christopher Pine and everybody in the Wonder Woman movie,
Her boo.
which was an amazing
Her little boo thing.
kind of like transition. And it's this picture from like 1910, and you kind of see the gears turning in Bruce's head of like, holy crap, she looks the same. Obviously this woman has something going on. But the original picture that they were using for this movie had Wonder Woman holding up 3 severed heads.
Really?
It did. And they were like, that's probably too much.
Yeah. That would have been great.
That would have been
That
cool.
would have
though.
been fantastic.
Yeah, that would
That would have
cool.
been fantastic.
Yeah, I think the best thing to come out of BVS and the entire DCEU was the Wonder Woman movie. And without her
Gal Gadot.
introduction in this, we wouldn't have gotten that. And that still, I think, holds up as a really good movie.
Yeah, the Wonder Woman first one did great.
Yeah.
The second one with Pedro Pascal was just, let's throw stuff in the air and see what sticks, and it was horrible.
One of the other things I want to... the fight where Batman is actually fighting Superman, and he's in the Dark Knight armor, and Superman gets a taste of the kryptonite gas for the first time, and Batman says to him, soak it in. You smell that? That's fear.
That's fear.
Superman goes to punch Batman, and he blocks the punch. And Superman, for the first time in his life, has been bested. And the
Yes.
look on his face, and Batman says to him, he's like, men are brave. You're not a man. And then socks him in the face. And they start fighting, and he gets Superman up against the wall, and he starts wailing on Superman's face. And Superman's head starts kind of not turning into the punch so much. And he starts regaining his power. And Batman has an official oh shit moment on the screen where he's like, oh no. So,
Yeah.
maybe some of my closing thoughts.
Yeah, let's go.
I think this movie did more to derail what could have been an amazing DCEU. Looking back 10 years of everything that happened, instead of doubling down on the Zack Snyderness, the extreme beatitude that some of this stuff has, it feels like the dark ages of 1993's comics. This could have been done in a better way, and I don't know if I'm really ever going to watch this again. Outside of the Martha fight, I don't know if getting angry is the right word while I was watching this, but I was like, the wasted potential in this and what it ended up coming from this hurts.
Yeah, for me, I think it was like, I really liked where Zack Snyder was going. I liked the stories he was gonna tell. The execution was just trash. Like, it was just trash. If you would, your concept, the dark side thing, Steppenwolf in the second version looked fantastic.
Yep.
First one was garbage. If you would have just stuck the landing, this could have been great. It would have still been going on. Anybody would have picked. They still want to pick up the SnyderVerse, and it's like, let it go. It's been 10 years. So I'm just looking forward to the James Gunn universe. Those are my final thoughts.
I saw it as they took one step forward, two step back.
Yeah.
I personally feel like they rushed art. Because you've had great moments. We talked about it.
Yeah.
You have Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, Ben Affleck, Batman, Henry Cavill, Superman. Like, that's your good. And then you had the bad. You had Lex Luthor, horrible Lex Luthor. Doomsday looking like a turtle. Flash, my favorite DC hero. Ezra Miller as the Flash. Horrible. Horrible.
Lois is the key. She's the key.
I don't give a shit. She's a key.
The other like crazy dream sequence. There are 3 dream sequences in this damn movie.
All right, let's get back to Ken's final thoughts. We've been long enough on this.
But no, it's just like they rushed art. They really did. They wanted to keep up with Marvel at that point. And
I agree.
DC wanted to win, and they thought they had it. But it's not a good movie. It's not. Like, it had its good moments. Yes.
It has potential. It has good scenes. It is not beginning to end. I want to sit there for 2.5 hours and see this shit again.
Dude, I watched a 3-hour cut.
I put it on for background noise at the store because I'm always working there and you got to have something on. But yeah, HBO probably thinks I enjoy this movie way too much.
Well, that's the thing. Like, again, it is a collection of really good scenes that don't quite fit.
Yeah.
They just didn't stick the landing.
Exactly.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
On that note, R.I.P. the DCEU.
R.I.P. SnyderVerse.
Yes. As Superman says in this movie, the bat is dead, bury it. You should do that with the SnyderVerse. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us. We are Geeks at the Nerd Table. Please follow us on all the socials. We got Instagram, TikTok. Our buddy here, Jose, has Baby Girl Comics in Lovely Pendle, Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
He also has Streetlight Confessions.
Streetlight Confessions is currently on hold. It will come back eventually. Life has been life and very hard for me. So I'm sticking around with Geeks at the Nerd Table for right now. Streetlight Confessions will come back. Baby Gorilla Comics things are moving. We have things in place. Online store is coming soon. You can actually go see it now, but there's really nothing, just pricing and names, but no pictures yet. So it's working. So hopefully by the end of this month or mid next month, that'll be up and running. Come November, we'll have our 4-year anniversary, which I know is like 6 months away. But yeah, it comes by soon. We always have great sales. Free Comic Book Day was huge, great turnout, lots of fun. If you haven't picked up any comic books, stop by the shop, pick them up. Absolute Universe, Midnight from Marvel's coming out. Invincible, we have the volumes in there. Fantastic read. I'm on volume 18 myself because I couldn't wait for next season. So with that said, Kev.
Do you have anything to announce?
Oh, he does.
Are you ready to announce anything?
Not yet.
Gotcha.
Because me and George are currently working behind the scenes. Slight hiccup on Wednesday. We're still trying to figure it out.
Gotcha.
But what's coming up? You don't want to say?
Not yet.
Okay.
I have a couple toy unboxings that I have to edit together, so stay tuned for them. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
I bid you adieu.